Morning, brewers. How's everybody? I thought I'd do a video on the new arrival today. It is a stainless steel plate chiller. Got it off eBay. Wasn't too bad. I think it's about 40 quid, something like that. A Vivo one, plate exchanger. I can't remember what the wattage was with it. It's quite high, so it's quite a deep unit, as you can see. A little bit of a close up on the specs there, if anyone wants to have a look. Doesn't say what the wattage was. I want to say it was like 75, 80, 85 watts of cooling power, or something like that. So a couple of concerns when I was buying it. One, I think it's called copper brazing. So the stainless steel plates are brazed together with copper. You can see obviously the orange of the copper between the plates. So I was a little concerned about that because of the cleaning chemicals. Obviously a stainless, if it was totally stainless, then the caustic and acidic cleaning wouldn't really affect the stainless too much, but because there's the copper in there, that can make it quite reactive and go sort of green, can't it? So a little bit concerned about that, but doing a bit of research, I don't think there's anything to worry about as long as it's cleaned properly and then rinsed, and there's no acids or caustics left in it to work away at the copper. Second problem was these are 3/4 inch attachments. Most of my connections are 1/2 inch. So that's the 1/2 inch on the cam locks there, and as you can see, 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch. It's incompatible. So what I found online, 3/4 to 1/2 inch adapter, so we can bring that size down to a standard cam lock fitting. So I'll put some tape on there, assemble this up, and that should enable us to use it. Let's have a go. So just thought I'd do a little bit on taping or PTFE taping threads. There is a right way of doing it. I'm no expert, but what you need to do is tape it in such a manner so when you are screwing it into another thread, it doesn't tend to unwind the tape. I'll demonstrate. So I'll just put a little bit of tape on here. This is gas tape because it's yellow. I find it's a lot thicker and seals a lot easier rather than the thinner white PTFE tape. So just go around a couple of times there. So as you can see, there's the end. I'll just leave it a little proud. Now normally you'd push that down, but I'll just leave it a little proud so we can demonstrate what I'm talking about. So that thread's going to go into there. So as you see, as we thread that on, I've left it proud and that looks not quite right. So I'll leave it proud at one side. So we get the thread started. And as you can see, the direction of travel of this thread is the same as the tape. So as we're going on, it's pushing the tape on. It's winding the tape on further. If we were to put the tape on the other way, quite possibly we would be going in this direction with the tape and then unwinding it. See how that can happen? That way we're pushing the tape further on. That way we'd be pulling it off. So try and tape it in the direction of travel as such as what the thread is going. So I'm just doing a quick temporary rig up here to see how this goes. Does that make sense? Okay, so we've got these, the cam lock and the adapter taped, and just finger tight in. Tape on all four threads here. Now, just a point, I'm not actually doing the right thing here, because these threads, this is a 3/4 BSP to 1/2 inch BSP, whereas these threads are NPT. Now, technically shouldn't go together. However, when you got smaller fittings like this, they kind of fit, but they shouldn't be doing this. So technically this shouldn't fit, and you can probably see as you go on there, it's a little bit loose. So I'm hoping that the tape in the situation is going to take up the slack, and that's going to seal, but we'll see. So always be careful when attaching stainless to stainless, because you can get galling, and it kind of cold welds itself together. So always use some sort of tape when you're putting stainless on stainless in a high torque sort of fitting of threads as such. Okay, so we'll just get those on. We'll tighten those up in a minute. For the cold side, so that's the hot side. Cold side, we use just a standard tap fitting. So this came off my immersion chiller. The rubber in the bottom there is looking a bit ordinary. Bit of PTFE tape still in there as well. But for today, just going to see how it works. So again, that's a standard tap fitting, hose lock fitting which I'm going to use, and that fits on there quite nicely. So we'll have hot in and out, cold in and out. Just tighten these up. I don't know if you can see the spanner. It actually has this grip attachment as such, so you can turn that around. So it's either an adjustable spanner or it's an adjustable spanner with a bit of a grip. So it's good for tightening these hose lock fittings up. And then we'll quickly turn this around. This spanner needs a bit of oil on it. It's been subjected to a little bit too much brewing chemicals. And now we've got a standard spanner, so we'll just tighten them all up. I'm not going to go too tight. This is just for a test. Get some water running through it. Okay, righto, we'll see what it does. But there we are, it's all attached. So the hot wort's going to be coming in and out, cold wort in and out. Not sure if you do it in the reverse direction or not, but we'll give it some tests and see what happens. So we'll attach it all up and I'll come back. Okay, so we've got, what do we got? Just short of 13 litres of water in the boil kettle. So it's attached up, so we're going to come out of the boil kettle into the pump, out of the pump into the top of the chiller, out of the bottom of the chiller, back into the boil kettle. What I'm going to do first is just a leak check on that side. So let's open these valves. Hopefully I'll get some water flowing. Can't see anything yet. Might have a few airlocks. Yeah, there's a bit of water coming through there now. Alright, well let's go across to the control panel and let's turn on the pump and see if we get any flow. Yep, she's starting to flow. As you can see, it's flowing through there. You can see a bit of movement on the outlet. Coming back into the boil kettle. A lot of air obviously in it that's coming out. Let's run that. But looking at the fittings, Can't see anything leaking. So that's all we're doing right now. A lot of air coming out of that. Let's get as much of that out as we can. Okay, let's just run. I'll just run that through for a while. See, that's also creating quite a whirlpool there on the whirlpool fitting. I was wondering about how fast it was going to go through the chiller, whether I could achieve a whirlpool or not, but it looks like we can. Okay, so I'll let that run and get all the air out of it. In the meantime, I'll attach up the cooling side and start to heat up the water. Just interested to see how quickly it'll drop the temperature. So, boil kettle's on. See, 10.4 amps. I love seeing this voltage and current. Tells me what it's actually happening. I know it's 10.3, 10.4, so if it's pulling more current or less current, or none at all, it gives me an indication of what's going on. Obviously this light says boil kettle warm up, but that's the measurement of actually what's happening. So I do love that. So 4 degrees, it's a cold day. So I'll come back once that warms up. So we've got it fully set up now with cooling hoses. My cooling hose set up, so I've got a mains water supply coming out here, and then I've got a drain for the mains water supply from the cooler out again. So they're both on a couple of ball valves. Again, on just directly onto the side of the sink here. Makes it easy and convenient. Don't have to have any attachments there. So that comes on, goes through one side of the chiller, and then back out. And that goes down into the drain. So we're fully attached. We're just waiting for the temperature to come up. We're at 22. In the meantime, what else is going on in the brewery? We've got a Maybach, Helles Bock. It's out of the Brewing Classic Styles book by Jamil Zainasheff and John Palmer. That's been in there a while now. When was it brewed? It was brewed on the 22nd of January. Fully fermented out, passed diacetyl test, and I've now dropped it down to pretty much 0 degrees. So we'll sit it in there for a few days, see if it, hopefully get it a bit clearer before we transfer it into my, or Teddy Fox's, lagering tank. It's just one of the Oxybar things from Kegland. So once it's fermented out into there, I then transfer it into here. And now it's only, what is it, 8.5, 9 litres, something like that. But that's enough. That's all I've got fermenting in there. And then we lager it in that for I think about 4 or 5 weeks. We're probably going to do that. I've done it before. We've got another. We had a Pilsner. It's my first lager I did. A Pilsner here. That's sitting in there. That's got some age on it now, and it's tasting great. I was really happy with that. And so the Oxybar kegs work fine for that lagering. It doesn't tie up one of my other kegs for a long period of time. Bit of cleaning going on. All the fixtures and fittings from my little conical there. I just let them dry. I've cleaned, acid wash. Now I've just got them sitting there all drying before I put them back in to the conical. Up to 30 degrees now. Still a bit of time to go. That's about it. Back to you in a minute once the temperature warms up. Well, brewing fans, not quite sure what's got on. So we got to 89 degrees. See, the temperature controller is calling for heating. but that's not lit up, and we've not got any current. Switch is on, and the breaker's on. So what is going on? We'll have to do some investigation as to what is happening there. Well, should we just try the age-old turn it off and back on again? Okay, up and running. It's calling for output. Turn the element on. No light, no current. Is the emergency stop clicked in? No. We're going to have to do some investigationing. Something has clearly gone wrong in here. I'll let you know what I find. Well, a little bit of investigation, and I think it's the switch. Could be the fuse, don't know. But this is warm, and that shouldn't be that warm. The reason I suspect this is all of a sudden everything started to heat up again. I started to hear the water bubbling as such, and then I could hear arcing inside this. So we're going to get this off, going to get it isolated, and then we'll see what's going on inside that. But I think in the meantime we'll still do the experiment. We'll get that isolated. We're at 87 degrees. Let's see how quickly that cools. So we'll put the cooling water on first. Let's get that flowing on full tilt. Whoa, making a bit of noise there. So we're on full tilt. Tap water pressure going through there. Okay, so as you can see, the water temperature is 86 degrees. Let's start the timer. Start the pump. So that should be circulating through. So got hot work. So that is warming up. That's coming out of there. Yeah, that's cold going in. Pretty warm coming out. Yeah. 85, 84. You see that that's moving around quite a lot there. Okay. Let's just turn the element off. Notice it comes back on again. 80. That is dropping pretty fast. Hopefully you can see that. 78. So we've got 1 minute. That is dropping like a lead balloon. So this was 13 litres of water, 80 odd degrees. But I'm pretty impressed at the speed that is dropping that. Hot. That's coolish. This is what's coming out. It's still reasonably warm that's coming out of there. I guess the ideal situation would be to go in at boiling and be coming out of here at pitching temperature, 20 odd degrees, which I don't think it is right now, but it certainly is cooling that down quickly. Here we are, just over 2 minutes, 2 minutes 15. We're now down to 55 degrees. So what's that? 30 degrees ish in 2 minutes. That's pretty quick. I guess a combination of slowing the flow down through it would enable us to get a cooler temperature directly out of it, but that certainly is not 20 degrees coming out of it. Although it's not too bad. I'm probably feeling that. I'm feeling the temperature that's been radiated or conducted through from this, but feeling this pipe, that does feel pretty cool. Probably gonna have to do another test and get a temperature probe in line to see what the actual temperature is coming out of there. But from a leak test point of view, temperature point of view, I'm pretty happy with that. So with what, half that temperature, what we're down at 40 degrees in just over 3 minutes. So that's pretty efficient. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm gonna say, what, less than 10 minutes it should bring that down from 100 degrees. We'll do that test again, but as you can see, that is notably dropping really quick. So 5.5 minutes in, down to 22 from, what was it, 84, 85, something like that. Yeah, that's really quite impressive how quickly that drops that. I know it's only 13 litres. I'll do another test with it up at 20 litres. But that, we're down to pitching temperature already. Brilliant. I'll investigate the cause of the heater failure. I mean, it's great that it happened during a test and not during a brew day, because that would have been devastating to lose the heating during a brew day. I'd imagine there's something wrong with the socket. She's still dropping. It's a cold day out there as well. I mean, the groundwater temperature is probably 4 or 5 degrees, so that does need to be bared in mind. Bared in mind? Borne in mind? What's the right words there? We do need to take into account that the groundwater temperature today is quite low, but that is dropping impressively quickly. I mean, we're going far past now pitching temperature, so, but pretty impressive. So let's retest it. I think we just had a loose connector, so of course I got a qualified electrician in to take a look. There we go, warming up, lights on. Current is correct. Always get a professional to look at these things, people. I think it was just a loose connection and a little bit of arcing going on. But she seems fine now. Problem solved. So we'll do the test again. We'll get it up to 100 degrees. It'll be another video. But I think for today, successful test. Don't forget to like, subscribe, allow me to grow the channel. Comments down below, I'll answer them all. Happy brew day, brewers. Bye-bye.